Hi, folks. I'm Chris Dorr. I'm the director here for Ohio Gun Owners. And in this short video, I'm going to talk about the two candidates running to be your next state representative right there in House District 27 in Hamilton County. There is a lot on the line in these elections. That makes who we pick to be our representatives at the State House in Columbus very important. So if you're pro-gun, if you're pro-Second Amendment, if you love America, you're going to want to watch this video. First and foremost, I'm going to talk about Rachel Baker here. She's the Democrat incumbent. I'm going to talk about her because she doesn't have a lot of votes yet on gun bills, but she's got a lot of bills that she's supported or sponsored. So we can definitely take a look at that and let you know where she's at. Then we're going to talk about Republican Curt Hartman and what he wants to be if you guys decide to choose him to be your next Republican, to be the next representative from House District 27. This is the former district of pro-gun champion Tom Brinkman. He's the author of Ohio's constitutional carry law, and he got term limited out a little while back. Rachel Baker is the current incumbent here, so we're going to start talking about her. I'm going to pull up my red pen because we've got some bad stuff to talk about. Talking about Rachel Baker now. There's the old phrase that you can tell a lot about a person by who their friends are. It's never been more true than it is about politicians and who is funding their campaign and who is endorsing their campaign. And that's why this is the first cause for alarm right here. Michael Bloomberg has endorsed Rachel Baker in this race. And Michael Bloomberg, he's the godfather of gun control. He's the financier of the gun control movement across the country, both at the federal level and at the state level. So for her to be endorsed by him means that she supports his policy initiatives. And speaking of policy, let's dig right into them right now. Rachel Baker sponsored universal gun registration for the radical left. Universal gun registration gives the state the ability to track, trace, and register gun owners like we're some kind of sex offenders. This doesn't apply to the criminal class. These laws don't apply to them. Killers, rapists, thieves, murderers, whatever, they're not affected by this law. This only applies to law-abiding citizens because criminals don't line up and say, oh yeah, here, I was going to use this knife to stab so-and-so, but you can have it now. Here's the guns. No, that doesn't happen. Only law-abiding citizens actually do this kind of thing. So you got to ask yourself, what the heck does she want to do that for? Why would anybody want to do that? Here's the dirty secret. It's not a secret anymore. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, they all stand there and they say, ban them, ban assault weapons. Well, I also talk about mandatory gun buybacks. That's gun confiscation, and they can't confiscate guns unless they know who owns which ones. Rachel Baker's bill here, universal gun registration, does exactly that. Okay, gives the government the ability to track, trace, and register gun owners like they're sex offenders, and that's absolutely preposterous. Can't believe she did that. She also sponsored red flag gun confiscation. This is a nasty gun control bill. What it does is it simply allows people to petition a judge to have your guns taken away from you without you ever being charged, tried, or convicted of a crime. Total destruction of due process. One of the things that's happened in the states that have passed this tyranny is that these things have been weaponized against people in child custody courts and in divorce courts in these proceedings. If somebody can get their opponent red flagged, that's a gun charge that goes on their record, and all of a sudden, the person petitioning the court has a much bigger chance of getting custody of the kids if they can make something like that stick. So for her to do this, absolutely a slap in the face of gun owners, and a total violation of jurisprudence in America. Rachel Baker also sponsored mandatory gun lockups. Now, she calls them safe storage laws, but Kamala Harris herself was caught on video just a couple days ago saying that we want to pass these mandatory gun lockup laws because it allows state actors to invade the sanctity of your home. That's Kamala Harris's words, not mine, and do government gun inspections. We looked to see if Rachel Baker said anything about it. We couldn't find anything on her social media channels where she condemned what happened when the American military pulled out of Afghanistan and left billions of dollars worth of real military weaponry sitting there on the tarmacs, on these bases for the Taliban to come in and confiscate and use against the Afghan people, our allies who had been helping us this entire time. She didn't say anything about that. How is it that she thinks our government can inspect you and me, but should be exempted from that themselves? That's preposterous. Not to mention what Rachel Baker is advocating here is a total violation of your constitutional right to be secure in your person from unreasonable searches and seizures. Apparently, she can't read the Constitution. She also said that she wants to repeal our constitutional carry law. By the way, it's the former representative from that district 27, Tom Brinkman, that was the author of the constitutional carry law. It's not even a controversial topic anymore. 29 states have passed this. It simply says government should get out of the rights regulation business, and law-abiding, peaceful citizens can carry firearms for self-defense without begging government permission. Criminals don't obey these laws. She also wants us to repeal Ohio's self-defense law. Oh, I forgot to give her an X there. Repeal Ohio's self-defense law. That's insane. She wants it. Rachel Baker wants it so that if you're ever forced to face down a killer, a rapist, a thug, a criminal, a kidnapper, something like that, that you should be able to prove to the court that you took enough steps to try to retreat from that situation before you're allowed to take action to defend yourself. I will tell you, after having watched and lived in this world enough over the years, that if you're ever, she's an X, if you're ever forced into that situation, if you have to stop and think about whether or not you should retreat or simply take action to defend yourself or your kids or your loved ones or whatever, that moment of pause can be the difference between going home at night and going to the morgue for your local undertakers. How dare somebody like Rachel Baker try to do this to the law-abiding citizens of Ohio? How dare you? She wants to make it so that the law favors the criminal rather than the citizen. And that's absolutely wrong. She also supports a ban on semi-automatic firearms. She wants to outlaw AR-15s, Glock 43Xs, Ruger 1022s, Marlin Model 60s, Remington 1187 shotguns, anything that can be used as an effective deterrent to tyranny. Rachel Baker wants to outlaw. Here's a little history lesson for Rachel Baker and proponents of this ideology. Our founding fathers, when they codified the Second Amendment and the Bill of Rights, had just defeated the world's superpower. They knew that governments left to their own devices and without any opposition can become tyrannical. They had just defeated one. So they codified the Second Amendment and the Bill of Rights as a deterrent to tyranny ever taking root in America. Has nothing to do with hunting deer. That's mumbo jumbo that Joe Biden likes to mumble out every time he gets a chance. It's got nothing to do with that. Looking around us today, we don't have to go very far back in history to find an example of governments that have gone tyrannical and then genocidal on their people. In the 20th century alone, an easy 100 million innocent people were murdered by their governments. The point here is that the founding fathers knew that killer criminals are bad. That's not what the Second Amendment was about. They codified the Bill of Rights, the Second Amendment, because they knew that killer governments were far worse. Far worse. That's why we own those tools. Rachel Baker, she knows that too. She wants to outlaw it. Shame on her. Let's talk about Curt Hartman here for just a second, because I want to end this thing on a good note. Curt Hartman. Never been in office before, never got to cast a vote, so we can't show you a voting record. But that's why we reached out to him and asked him to fill out our candidate survey. And I am very happy to report to you right here and now that Curt Hartman filled out and returned his 2024 Ohio Gun Owners Candidate Survey 100% in favor of your gun rights. He answered every single question. And these aren't easy questions, let me tell you. Our survey is the hardest hitting survey in the entire state of Ohio when it comes to guns. When it comes to freedom, the OGO survey is tops. And for Curt Hartman to go on record, that's fantastic. That means he said he was going to be a no vote on universal gun registration, on red flag gun confiscation, on AR-15 and semi-automatic firearms bans. He said he wants to go on the offense too and pass some pro-gun bills like SAPA. He'll vote yes on SAPA, the Second Amendment Preservation Act. Beautiful piece of pro-gun legislation. Here's what it does. It says that Ohio cops, which Ohio taxpayers pay for to uphold Ohio laws that are passed by Ohio representatives that Ohio citizens elect at the State House, they can't be used to enforce federal gun control laws. Doesn't matter if it's Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, some future gun control administration. Ohio cops aren't going to be about that business. They're going to be about the business of the people of Ohio and uphold and enforce Ohio laws. Beautiful. Curt Hartman says, yeah, let's do it. He signed the dotted line there. He checked that box. Also, he said, let's overhaul Ohio self-defense laws and carry laws. We have some great laws on the books. They passed not too long ago, but there's some cleanup that needs to be done, as there usually is with most big pro-gun bills. There's some cleanup language that needs to be done. Curt Hartman says, yeah, let's do it. I'm going to give him an A rating right here, right there. You know what? I should have given her a rating too. Let's do it right now while we got the chance. Give her an F rating. She's earned it, let me tell you. Here's the deal. If you see Curt Hartman on the campaign trail, walk up to him and thank him for this right here, for earning that A rating. I'm trying to change my pen color. If you see this guy on the campaign trail, thank him for filling this out, this survey. It's very easy for a lot of Republicans these days to not go on record, say, oh, I don't want to rock the boat. A lot of them have these expensive campaign consultants who are like, don't say anything controversial. Curt Hartman's like, hey, I know what I believe. I believe what I say. I'm going to go on record and let the people decide. I like that. A lot of gun owners like that. It's good stuff. If you see Rachel Baker on the campaign trail, tell her that this is not like 1940s Germany or Italy or Japan or something, or maybe Russia a little later on. If she wants to do that kind of stuff, she should probably move over and try to pass it in those over there with the sissy Brits in England. They might like this kind of stuff. We don't like it here in Ohio. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave. This stuff doesn't go here in Ohio. So, folks, I wanted you to have this information about where these two candidates stand so you guys can make your own decisions about who you want representing you at the State House. The choices are here. I can't tell you how to vote. A lot of people say, Chris, who should I vote for? I can't tell you that. The choice is yours. With this information, I'm asking you folks to share it with all of your pro-gun friends, family, loved ones, co-workers, neighbors, church family, so that they can see for themselves the difference between these people and where they stand. And then on November 5, round up your friends, wake them up, grab them a cup of coffee, whatever you got to do. Get them out of bed, head down to the polls, and vote pro-gun.